Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Ethical Finance Talks. Today we are diving into another fascinating topic in Islamic finance, Mudarabah. We will explore what Mudarabah is, how it works, and how it differs from Musharaka. We will also look at how businesses can use Mudarabah, how profits are shared, and how a Mudaraba arrangement can be terminated. Let's get started. First off, what is Mudaraba? Mudaraba is a unique partnership where one partner provides the capital and the other provides the expertise and management. The one who provides the capital is called rabb-ul-mal, and the one who manages the business is known as the mudarib. In simple terms, imagine you have some money, but you've got no time or skills to start a business. You give this money to someone who has the skills but no capital. Now, they will use your money to run the business, and both of you share the profits according to a pre-agreed ratio. Now, let's talk about how Mudarabah differs from Musharaka. While both concepts, Mudarabah and Musharakah, are forms of partnerships in Islamic finance, they have some key differences that we must talk about. In Musharaka, all partners contribute capital, while in Mudaraba, only the rabb-ul-mal provides the capital. In Musharaka, all partners can participate in managing the business, while in Mudaraba, only the mudarib manages the business. In Musharaka, losses are shared according to each partner's capital contribution, while in Mudaraba, only the rabb-ul-mal bears the financial loss. The mudarib loses their time and effort, but no money. In Musharaka, all partners typically have unlimited liability. In Mudaraba, the rabb-ul-mal's liability is limited to their investments unless they permit the mudarib to incur some debts. So, how can businesses use Mudaraba? The rabb-ul-mal can specify a particular business for the mudarib, which is called a restricted mudaraba, or in Arabic, al-mudaraba al-muqayyada. If the rabb-ul-mal does not specify a particular business, the mudarib is free to invest in any business they see fit. And this is called unrestricted mudaraba, or in Arabic, al-mudaraba al-mutlaqa. Imagine a businessman who wants to invest in real estate but lacks the funds. So a wealthy investor provides the capital, and the businessman manages the real estate projects. So they both agree on sharing the profits, with 60% going to the investor and 40% to the manager. Let's dive deeper into some practical applications of Mudarabah. Here are a few scenarios. Imagine a craftsman who makes beautiful handmade furniture, but does not really have the money to buy materials in bulk. An investor, on the other hand, which is known as rabb-ul-mal, provides the needed funds, and the craftsman, which is the mudarib, can use these funds, or in other words, capital, to produce and sell more furniture. Profits are then shared according to their agreements. Another example, a tech entrepreneur has a great idea for a new app, but lacks the necessary funding to develop the app. So an investor steps in with the capital, and the entrepreneur dedicates his time and expertise to developing the app. If the app becomes successful, both the investor and the entrepreneur benefit from the profits. For a mudaraba to be valid, the profit sharing ratio must be agreed upon from the beginning, meaning from the start. There is no fixed ratio in Sharia. It can be whatever both parties agree on, maybe 50-50 or 60-40 or any other proportion. They cannot agree on a fixed amount or a percentage of the capital. For instance, saying the mudarib will get $10,000 or 20% of the capital is not allowed. The agreement must be based on the actual profit earned. So let's say the business generates $50,000 in profits. If the agreed ratio is 60% for the investor and 40% for the manager, so the investor gets $30,000 and the manager gets $20,000. But what happens if there is a loss? In Mudaraba, only the rabb-ul-mal, which is the investor, bears the financial loss, meaning they might not get back their invested capital. On the other hand, the mudarib does not lose any money, but their time and efforts are lost. Now, this makes the mudarib highly motivated to ensure the business succeeds. Now, how does a mudaraba end? Either party can terminate the mudaraba at any time by giving notice to the other. However, if the assets are not in cash form, the mudarib must sell them to determine the actual profit before distribution, meaning before distribution of shares. Now, some scholars believe a mudaraba can be fixed for a specific term, like 1 year, for example, while others believe it cannot be restricted to a particular time. Now, despite this difference of opinion, both agree that either party can end the mudaraba anytime unless they mutually agree to a fixed term. Let's take an example. Imagine a mudaraba agreement for a construction project. The project is set to last for 2 years, but after 1 year, the investor decides to withdraw. The mudarib must then liquidate the project's assets to determine the actual profit or loss. Now, if the investor wants to leave earlier, they can sell their share to another willing investor. To illustrate the potential of mudaraba, let's look at a real-life success story. A small-scale farmer in Indonesia received capital from an ethical finance institution under a mudaraba agreement. Now, using these funds received, the farmer expanded his operations, he bought better seeds, and also invested in irrigation. Within a year, his crop yields significantly increased, and both he and the investor profited handsomely. Now, this is a perfect example of how mudaraba can actually empower individuals and also promote economic growth. In conclusion, mudaraba is a powerful and flexible tool in Islamic finance because it allows for ethical investment and profit sharing. It's also designed to be fair and beneficial for both the investor and the manager. However, it is important, very crucial, that both parties fully understand and agree on the terms to avoid any issues. So, is Mudaraba ethical financing or exploitation? It truly depends on how it's implemented. When done correctly, it can be a win-win situation. But if the terms are not clear or fair, for example, it can lead to disputes and feelings of exploitation. So, what do you think? Is Mudaraba an effective tool for ethical finance? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to always subscribe to Ethical Finance Talks for more insight into Islamic finance and ethical investing. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.